Alright, welcome to episode 20 of History Rewritten. Last time we had the biggest war the series has ever had, which is kind of like Rome versus Carthage, but a lot more... I don't know what I'm looking for. A lot more dangerous. There are a lot more countries than Rome versus Carthage. There are a lot more countries than two. So we've seen, last time I didn't fully do what the world looked like after that. But you can see now, this is what our new world looks like. So Italy has been divided up into a lot of new countries. We have this one, this North Italian one, Northwestern one, Central one, the old Italian state, and Corsica. The blue country has annexed Sicily and Sardinia. We've got Crete with basically the entire load of Aegean islands. Greece is back, a lot stronger now. The yellow country is sufficiently stronger, although they're still unliked by everyone. A few countries lost land, like the light blue country, the reddish brown one in Caucasia. As you can see, the one down in Arabia, they've been split into 3 countries now, and they're a lot smaller. Eritrea is gone, so Ethiopia annexed that. And we have a new country in Catalonia, because the rebels took control, and then got to keep control after the purple team relinquished control. So, we're going to be starting off just north of Italy, as people are going to be declaring war on this blackish coloured Austrian country. So those suspects are the pink country up here, the Swiss country, and this new Italian one down here. So they'll be declaring war because they just don't like this guy. And that's basically all there is. The pink country will initiate the fighting as they move in quickly and capture this major city. The Austrian country has their capital right here on the border of this North Italian country. So they might be able to get that quickly-ish. The Istrian one, Istria is this bit here, so I'm going to call them that. Because, they're kind of Croatia, but Istria will move in to the southern regions here. However, the mountains will keep this country kind of protected, so it might be quite tricky to take down. However, some of these rural areas are going to fall away very quickly. The pink country is probably the most developed here, although these guys are not really that rich. In fact, they've only got 3 major cities, whilst these Swiss dudes have 5. Why does Switzerland have so many? What the heck is going on in Switzerland? Alright, maybe Switzerland's going to do some crazy stuff, as they may manage to take down this major city. I don't think the Swiss major cities are that strong, though. But this country, its military is not that great. They did just fight in this war against the purple team, which none of these countries fought in. These guys, the people here participated in it, but yeah, they kind of did. So they're not doing that much. However, they have managed to take the entire coastline of this country, and now we have the North Italian country, this teal one, moving in, and they would surprise attack the capital and take that down too. So, have that. The Istrian one will move into the southern regions. I'll close off this bit, and with the one major city, which is there, a 5th country is going to join in this war, that being the Salmon Nation, and they take that major city. And they're just gonna annex this bit. They made a relatively wise decision of not joining the last one. They would have got land if they joined the Italy war. However, they would have also lost a load of people, and they might be a target to some strong countries like the Sludge Nation or the Yellow Country, who they don't really like. So, yeah, nobody really likes the Yellow Country. I'm going to stress that point. They have no friends. Yellow Country is depressing. Anyway, let's get down to this peace treaty. So, the Pink Country, who was actually a rebellion from the Sludge Nation, will be annexing some of these northern provinces. So they take this major city. Oh, damn it. I destroyed a major city. However, there's not that many economic areas in the north, and seeing as the Swiss feel that they deserve quite a large bit of this, they're not going to get many major cities from this treaty. The Italians aren't going to get that much because they didn't do much. Although they will annex the capital, however the capital is not that major either. I tried to sort out the border from end of last episode. I made it look really horrible. I think it looks alright. I just don't look at this border. I really don't like it. But I don't like this either. Tell you what, whilst these guys are, you know, sorting out a peace treaty for the partition of Austria, they're gonna fix their border right here. Oh, it's not looking good. Anyway, hey, you're not meant to have that. Right, so they've got a few provinces, they've got a capital city. Capital cities are always pretty good to get. Israel is going to annex quite a few provinces. I don't like how this looks. I don't like it. And the Pink Nation will get a pretty large amount of land. However, sign off some of it to the Swiss one, who is now basically how strong they were before. They're nearly up to their former glory, although their former glory wasn't that glorious, so yeah. L. We have those guys. Yeah, the pick team's at the highest they've ever been, so that's nice. Well, these guys barely ever do anything. But, yep, change for Central Europe. Central West, yeah, Central Europe. However, we're going to be moving over to East Asia, Southeast Asia a little bit. As the oh god, Pink Sea. Chocolate Milk Sea. The Indians will be doing more colonization of this Strait of Malacca. There we go. I don't think I'm made for this. So they get some stuff on there, and they want some eastern territories as well. Well, eastern bits of this peninsula. However, they have colonized a pretty large area of this, and they don't plan on stopping. The business over here in Malacca is quite lucrative, and they're making quite a lot of money from this. So, you know, it doesn't look like they're going to stop. You kind of have an East India Company run by India now, in a way. You know, when Britain colonized India, it went to the EIC. This time the EIC is India. So, you know, it's an interesting idea. They do like taking all these random islands. That colony in North Sumatra is going to get slightly bigger. Probably got like loads of spice. I think the Spice Islands are slightly nearer to Papua New Guinea though. But there you go. However, that's not the major colonization of today, as the Indians have finally made a landing on Africa proper. Of course this is Africa, but the actual continental part of Africa. So a pretty large colony actually is made in eastern Tanzania, and there you go. The Indians have started their activity in Africa. We'll have to see how that develops, but this is pretty interesting. Right, going over to Central Asia. This is more East Asia. We're going to have a country fall apart, which is going to be this Baikal nation. So a huge load of their southern territory goes, and they can't really do much to stop this. There's a reasonably large amount of people. You know, some people from China have moved here because it's free land basically. It's really cheap to buy agricultural stuff here. Farmland and that sort of stuff. It's not great farmland. But, you know, there's loads of Chinese people who've moved to the Russian Far East, in Vladivostok, because the land there is really cheap. That's like modern day stuff though. So it's kind of like that. But also the Chinese population is massive, which is like our world. However, this rebellion is going to move into this country over here as well. So you see this region break away, and a new Central Asian state has been created. Now we need to find out a colour. Oh no. That works. Let's do this one. Is that how you do it? Fuck, it's not. Ah, I did it, guys. I saved a colour. Right, cool. So, this area will eventually be given its independence because the military here isn't very strong, and it's a reasonably large militia. Lots of people out here are in the middle of fighting this group. So yeah, you know, this land isn't very important. The important stuff is up here in like the trade route area. But now I actually need to find the colours for these countries, and I've just coloured out. Oh no. Baikal, what was Baikal? The Iranian green. This one. Green to 100. That's what I want for here. However, these two countries are going to compensate for their losses in the south by heading northwards. So Baikal is going to concentrate around Lake Baikal, which is of course this giant lake over here. So they gather some more territory around that bit, whilst this other green country will just head north. It's not great, but it increases the size of their country. Because, you know, there are a few hungry empires out there that would love to just snap up some random Central Asian population and territory. So, you know, gotta be aware of the Chinese, because they might attack your country for no reason. However, Baikal has finally surrounded the entirety of Lake Baikal. I'm not sure if it's very good up here. None of this is good. That's the main bit of Central Asia, or Mongolia, I suppose. None of it's good. It's all pretty hellish. So, yeah, sorry Mongolia. Anyway, there you go for these guys. We're going to be staying in East Asia as I go to Europe. As finally the sailors, explorers, colonists over here from the Sakhalinese country sail up the coast of Kamchatka, they sail around this bit, and go, wait a minute, this is a giant piece of land, and they finally make a colony on the southern tip of Kamchatka. So, there you go. Can't really show you it's the nicest bit of land, but the Sakhalin's getting around, so that's cool. And they're also going to go slightly up the coast of the Sea of Okhotsk, because I want them to. I don't know if this land is really inhabitable at the moment, so they won't be able to make it that much further. There's barely anyone here. It's just an act of claiming and sending off a few people to go and hunt bears and stuff. So, you know, there you go. As for over here, oh yeah, Ethiopia has a rebellion. Sorry, Ethiopia. So last time they annexed a load of people from Eritrea, and that didn't go well, because the people from Eritrea were angry. You know, angry people mixed with people who have a really hard time farming, and it's different culture and stuff. There's a lot of different things mixed into this Gulf of Aden, Eritrea, Djibouti area. There's some extreme religious fanatics. You've got some people who do lots of trade, some Eritreans, some people who are farming out in the desert. It's just not easy. What colour was it? I feel like it was green to 40. That's what I want to say. Yeah, so I'm going to probably keep the same colour. So rebellion is going to appear from this city that I've decided to just not change. I've still got it marked down as the capital city. It is not still the capital city, because this city is annexed into this pretty large Ethiopian state. However, a rebellion is going to appear over here and spread pretty rapidly. So quite quickly, other interior provinces fall away to the rebellion. We see this entire northern area go up in rebellion, but Ethiopia is kind of confident they can fight this. However, if you're listening last video, the Indians don't really trade that many weapons. That's kind of their shortcomings in terms of trade. So these guys have got weapons that, you know, recently muskets were developed. And it turns out Italy did send them a few muskets to this Eritrean territory. And the Ethiopians do not have muskets. Muskets were developed, and this time it was in our modern day timeline. They were developed by the Spanish. There were a few guns before that, but I don't know who made those because I didn't investigate that. Well, the muskets were made by the Spanish, but in this I'm going to say they were made probably by Northern Europeans. So terracotta, sludge, Norway, Sweden, Britain, Scotland, some combination of those guys. That was very vague. Let's say it was the sludge nation who develops muskets. Then, they're trading it around to other European states. It's not really arrived in Ethiopia at the moment. So, they're not really able to fight these muskets very well. And it's going to cause the rebellion to take a lot of states from this country. I've changed my mind. No. I'm going to change the colour. It's not the same as Eritrea. It's different. So this rebellion has moved significantly throughout the country, and is now getting to lots of these areas in the east, west, that's the west. Take another major city, and finally Ethiopia is going to hold up a second. We should probably agree to peace with these guys. So they're going to do that, and let's actually think about how big this is going to be. I don't know. There might be some land exchanges, because some of this central Ethiopian stuff, that's kind of alright territory. You can do lots of farming because the Nile goes into this area before it leads into, I believe, Lake. Well, there's lakes down here. You've got Lake Victoria over there. That's Lake Tanganyika, Lake Malawi, which used to be Lake Nyasaland. Lake Nyasa, I think, actually. I'm pretty sure this is all just stuff that leads from the Nile. Don't quote me on that. But this is all connected, I'm pretty sure. East African continent. There's all that stuff. Pretty sure all these big lakes are a cause of that splitting. That makes sense to me. So, yeah, I'd say they're all connected, probably. And that means it's quite important to keep a hold of that stuff. So it's unlikely they're going to give a lot of that away. So they get to keep some of these larger areas in the south. There's a major city down here, this stuff. They're going to keep all that. And there might be some more land exchanges, just because. So they take that. However, they are going to move up into this area around here. Take this major city, which is, relatively important to these guys. Oh no, there's a hole in the border. Great. But yeah, there you go. So, Eritrea there's a lot of holes in the border, I suppose. I kind of just forgot that I said that, and just carried on my life. So, yeah, that was clever. There are a lot. Crikey. So Eritrea is significantly bigger now. At the moment, they're kind of looking a bit like Somaliland, in a way. It's like Somaliland, Eritrea thing. So we've got that as a new country. The Sudanese are going to do some expansion into this area. It's a lot of expansion, actually. The country becomes much more Sudan-shaped. Although Sudan goes a bit out here, because there's a few other countries that mess up while it's just a straight line down. Okay. Which colour was Sudan? Was it this colour? I'm good at this remembering thing. I'm incredible. It's inane how good I am at this. Where was it? Second yellow to 90. I trust that. There we go. Alright, so the Sudanese are annexing a lot of stuff. Yeah, they were in the war, and even if you didn't annex any territory from the war, you got paid war reparations for, the arms that you lost, the things that got destroyed, or the people that you lost, stuff like that. So, although the Sudanese didn't lose that much, because they only really declared war on Eritrea, they get paid a slight bit of money back from the Italian budget stuff, finance, treasury, all that thing. So they have got some more money back, and it's quite a large amount, seeing as Sudan isn't really the hub of trading, at least at the moment. Maybe if they develop more stuff in the Red Sea. I think this is about as developed the Red Sea is going to get. I've just lost a pretty big country in here, which is what used to be this one. This one's lost a load of stuff. That's pretty sad. Anyway, there you go. There is Sudan. Also, The Ethiopians, in their grief after losing the city over here, will develop a new one around this area, just to compensate for their losses over there. Anyway, we need to look back at America, because there's going to be a bit of backstabbing here. Like, what? So whilst the Bretons, there we go. I was like, no, Britons are British people. Yeah. Whilst the Bretons are over here in America, there are a lot of people who've moved to America. The trade over here is quite lucrative because there's a lot of things. They've not gone too far. They know about this much of America exists. That much. So yeah, and they're getting things from all those areas. So they're making quite a lot of money, so there's a lot of people going over there. Especially the young population. Which means, back at home in Brittany, there's not a lot of people. Which means, for example, if you really wanted to unite the entire part of England, whatever, then Cornwall wouldn't be very defended. So English troops are going to move into Cornwall, and quite quickly they're just going to annex this. I'm not even going to really show it. There's barely anyone there. I mean, even if they hadn't... oh yeah. I'm going to mention the thing I said yesterday about how... yeah, Brittany took that bit from France. Yeah, that was folly. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, I thought that was a good idea at the time, but it's kind of just stupid. Did I? I'm confused now. Oh, great. Why? Right, so I'm not entirely sure how this works, because I'm not good at technology. It's like, I got effort in IT. That was the incredible part. The effort grades was like, you did exceptional effort. However, you're absolutely stupid at IT. No clue what's going on there. So, yeah. It's like all this Excel stuff. I'm like, what the hell? I know how to do normal Excel. I can make a graph or something. That's fine. I can do that. Or do Python? I'm like, what the heck? Pink. Oh, yeah. Yay. Pink. 100. I see what I've done now. Either this colour. Huh. Right, so France looks like that. Anyway, England's going to annex Cornwall, and the Britons are kind of like, hey, that's not nice. Oh, they don't really care that much because, first of all, if you think your mind back to when they discovered England, which is like episode 4, 6, something like that, a long time ago, yeah, the Britons made a colony in England where they colonised Wales and Cornwall, and then rapidly lost control of those colonies, which then split into lots of different things. So they did that. However, they didn't really like the Cornish, which is why they kind of funded a rebellion in Cornwall, who then they didn't like after that because it was made of Cornish people, and they just didn't like the Cornish. So the Bretons are kind of alright, just letting this go, and the English annexing it. So there's that. England's got some stuff. They're like, hey, don't do that again. Especially, don't try and take this. It's kind of funny because the Bretons have just always had this island chain here, and they're like, don't you dare take that. Those are our silly isles. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, there you go. England is slightly larger. That was the backstabbing I was talking about. Anyway, we're going to have another country moving towards America. I mean towards. They've not arrived. They're just slowly getting closer. And it's 130. 0. Wow, that's good. And then 170. One of my favourite colours. It is the purple country. We've done literally nothing since they got independence and took a lot of stuff. because of compensation. These guys are the masters of doing absolutely nothing. First off, they're going to move their capital from this bit back here in the interior of their country. They had it there because it's the best place to put it back then. You know, people would trade down there. However, now there's lots of trade going around from the Mediterranean into the Bay of Biscay, and then around the English Channel into the Baltic, stuff like that. And of course you can go Black Sea, Dnieper River, up to the Gulf of Finland, then into the Baltic that way. However, some countries find it easier to do it the way I described first. Biscay, English Channel, that stuff. So these guys are going to put their new capital, out here on the Atlantic coast. So they're going to do some more exploration as well, just out here somewhere, and that leads them to discover the Azores. So it's these islands out here. They make a landing on this one, and they quite quickly take it. Currently, these islands are owned by Portugal, which is pretty interesting actually. And it doesn't take too long before they annex all of these islands. So nice, they've got some stuff out there. That's cool. However, people don't really know how long they're going to keep this. They might sell it to somebody, but we'll see. Anyway, there will be, I can promise you, another country arriving in America next episode. I'm very excited about this, because it may not be a country you expected arriving in America. It's the orange one in Leningrad. But yeah, just for timescale. No. Eric, I've changed my mind in a matter of seconds. What was I going to do now? Oh yeah, Sludge Nation. Right, the Sludge Nation, they're rolling in the money now because they just developed muskets, which I totally knew before I started this episode. Yeah. Wow, I developed the world whilst making this episode. So Crimea is going to expand out here, and then the Sludge Nation is going to expand even further eastwards until they've arrived in this Russian area out here near Moscow. So they are really quite long now. Look very collapsible at the moment, the Sludge Nation. Well, not at the moment. At the moment they're doing quite well, so the people are pretty content because tax rates have gone down. If you're an artisan, like a blacksmith, or someone who makes gunpowder, however the hell that's made, I don't know. You go around killing creepers. If you don't play Minecraft, you won't get that reference. You shit. Anyway, yeah, if you're someone like that, you're making so much money. So there's an awful lot of engineers and highly skilled artisans, crafters, all that sort of stuff in this country, which is really good. You know, the more highly skilled people you have, the more highly skilled your people are. So, that's some wise words there. Anyway, we're going to look at this red Russian country. They are poor as dirt. So, yeah, they're not really doing too much. They expand into this bit and around here. And then they raise the tax rate to about 100% of your money. So that's fun. This is like the grey country along that weird river. Back in their days. Except tax rates. Yeah, the grey country kind of wore furs and just like sat around being a barbaric load of people. These guys are more just like, we're poor. So it's fine. Anyway. Now we're looking over to Central Asia again, as this greenish coloured country is going to expand slightly into this bit. Now, what colour are you? I'm confused. Don't worry, I know exactly what's going on. Completely and utterly full of knowledge on what's going on. That is near enough for me. It's not. Let's get it perfect. So that looks right. Anyway, yeah, 70. Oh my god. I'm so good at this. 70, there we go. So these guys, under the influence of the Lime Team, the Lime Team kind of help these guys get their independence from the Green Country. The Lime Team is going to help fund these guys' expansion into Central Asia. Another country expanding northwards is the Brown Country. Don't worry, I will add their territory into this stuff. So they've been doing a lot of expansion recently. I think they are a top 10 power, I would say. The Brown Country. They are very strong. They have a very, very high population because there's lots of agricultural stuff that's happening. They have a lot of coastline. They control the entire Bay of Bengal. The thing is, they own so much stuff that they actually have things the Lime Team doesn't have. Because before they were kind of overshadowed by them. Because the Lime Team had all the same stuff that they had. And then the Lime Team was stronger and gave you better deals because they had more of it and had more territory. And everyone liked them more because they've been around longer. Stuff like that. But now they've got things the Lime Team doesn't have from Myanmar and Bangladesh. So that means that they can actually start making a business empire of their own. So that's cool. Anyway, things are stirring up in Japan, however. Independent Japan is not that far away on the horizon. The Koreans are struggling at the moment to keep this under control, as well as the colonies, because it really wants to leave a lot. But yeah, so I guess we'll check on that sometime soon. Anyway, was there something blaring and I'm missing? Probably. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, don't worry. There is. Morocco. I was going to do some stuff for you guys, for once. Last time they annexed a few provinces from the Blue Team, because they chose to join the Moroccan country, which is nice of them, I suppose. Although, Blue Country is kind of like, hey, you know how those people joined because they thought they were going to have to live under a purple dictatorship for the rest of their lives? And Morocco was like, yeah. Can we have that stuff back? Morocco's like, oh no, it's fully integrated into our country already. I suppose you can't have it back. Womp womp. And the Blue Country's like, do I need to remind you that I'm the 4th strongest country in the world now? And Morocco's like, no, just leave me alone. So Morocco's slightly bigger at the moment. Expanded into the desert. And a bit more down south. They're not really interested in these islands. And that's because I have other plans for them. Other people are going to get them, not Morocco. I suppose they could fight the Moroccans. Fight for it. So we'll see. I'll think about that decision in the future. But, yeah. That's about now. There you go. Morocco's looking thicker. Oh yeah, there was one thing I was going to do. I might end off the episode with this. Actually, I might do it next episode. You know what? We'll give them some time. We'll give them some time. See if you can guess what I was going to do when I was looking at that spot. It was a war. Right, Britain is going to annex some more Bahamas, Florida stuff around here, and I think that's where it might end it off. The Britain's empire is not going to be that big in America, at least. They've still got some more expansion to do, as they need to inspire others to go to America. They're just like, right, we found some swamp, and everyone else was just like, great, it's all just a swamp, and nobody else went there. That would be funny. Mind you, once again, there is actually nobody but colonizers in America. It's just the Europeans for the moment. Because more people might arrive from other continents. I'm not saying that it's just going to be Europeans colonizing America. Because otherwise you're going to have some really ugly American countries. Potentially. Just like extremely long. Anyway, there is Norway and Scotland doing some more colonization of Greenland. I was like, oh, my final thing for the day. Don't worry. Let's do one more thing. I'm good at this. Blue country over here. I'm going to do the brown one as well. They do not have the same power that Norway and Blue Scotland have. These guys don't do as much trade. You know, they trade with the Irish, they trade with the English, they trade with the Welsh, the Scottish, the Norwegians, whatever. However, if you want to get something from Scotland, well, first of all, it's like sheep. There's seal. Oil's not important at the moment. I don't know how much there is to get from Scotland. I suppose you've got different varieties of animal that you might want. So yeah, if you want to get something from Scotland, you go to the blue Scottish country, because they're an awful lot stronger. You know, they control loads of northern England. They have the entire northwestern coast. Northeastern coast, oh no. It's just that the colour blue makes you think west. Northeastern coast of Britain. They have the Faroes, the Shetland, a load of Greenland, a load of Iceland. They've got a lot of stuff that the brown country doesn't have. So you trade with those guys instead of the brown country. I suppose you could go up the Celtic Sea, but you probably wouldn't. You get better stuff from the blue country, because they have a lot more land to grow things, put animals. You get what I mean. Anyway, that's about it really. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you again next time. I'm having a fun time recording these videos. I have recorded so many now. Oh my god. But yeah, it should be an exciting episode next time. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe, like, comment, do whatever. Watch the video. I don't care. Have a nice rest of your day.